Aaron will replace Colapinto next year?
Ooh. Break. Colapinto is making progress in the moment, you know. And, Matt, is making progress, yeah, hitting the wall, yeah, I know that, yeah. He's making progress, but look where the car is. You cannot judge a driver with a car like this. Look at Bortoleto, what he did in the Sauber, when the Sauber was shit beginning of the year. Nobody thought he can drive a car. Now that the car is half decent, you know, a lot better than it was beginning of the year, he's shining, you know. So I think what Flavio wants to wait, he keeps him in the car beginning of next year and knows that if he's not delivering beginning of next year with a new car, see where the car is, and if he's not delivering compared with Gasly, he's gone. But I think he will see this season out and start the next season. That's my opinion.
Yeah, you're right, Guenther. This is all assuming. Normally. I'm going gas. I mean, you're assuming, Guenther, that we're talking about a very measured, a very patient, non-impulsive,
Flavio,
non-crash gate affiliated man. But we are, in fact, talking about a non-ex fugitive man. But we are, in fact, talking about Flavio Briatore. Okay? And he has proven himself to not be patient. How many races did Doohan get before he got the fucking ripcord?
But he was patient up to now with him because he said Colapinto needs to deliver, but he didn't deliver, but he's still patient. Yeah.
Right, but did you see the look that he gave when Colapinto threw in the wall at Baku after Gasly went off? Did you see the look he gave?
No, I didn't see that, to be honest. No,
it was utter. Hold on 1 second.
Leave the pause in.
Disgusto. Ribrezzo. Schifo.
Schifo.
That's what it was. Schifo. It was schifo. That's what it was. And I think he's ready to just throw the baby out with the bathwater and start again. I think we're seeing shades of Red Bull here. That's what I think we're seeing. And he's ready to just keep throwing kids in the water, into the deep end, and maybe eventually one of them will swim. And that's not an indictment on Colapinto. That's just what I think we're seeing here.
I am going break because as much as Mr. Flavio Briatore wants to win there, I think he knows that right now that's not really in the cards. And Colapinto brings some cash money with him. And I don't know about this Paul Aaron guy, but he's Estonian, and I don't know if the Estonians have the same type of deep pockets as the Argentinians back in Colapinto. So I think that I think probably most likely scenario is exactly what you said, Guenther. I think Colapinto starts it next year, new regs, see how he does, and if he's not there, come a quarter of the races in, a third of the races
six
in,
races,
maybe
six
after,
races in,
maybe after the summer break, if he's whatever. Yeah. I think that Paul Aaron gets in there, and he looked good last year in Formula 2, so I think it might be in his favor.
Christian Horner will be back on the grid next year.
Break. I think he will wait a little bit, you know. He's eager to get there, but, in the moment, I don't think there's anything there for him, what he wants to do.
What does he want to do?
I think he wants to be part of a team owning, and I don't think there's anything for sale or to be had at, even if you want to buy it, I mean, it's a lot of money. I know he got a lot of money, but what he got is not enough to buy a team, so far off it, so, because he would not do anything else than being team principal, even going to Alpine to work with Flavio. I mean, that would not work, Flavio and him in the top position. I mean, then Flavio would need to go, and it doesn't look like Flavio is going anywhere soon, so I think I bumped the brake on that one. And, he can wait. I mean, Christian, he doesn't need to be in a hurry.
I just want to say this is off of the heels of the news that he and Red Bull have officially parted ways. There was a settlement that was reached. I think he was paid $100 million, where his gardening leave was negotiated so he can come back in a role before the summer of 2026. And there's talk about him maybe going to Alpine, Aston Martin, Cadillac, maybe there's been some Ferrari that's been thrown around, but seems like maybe Alpine would be the place given his relationship with Flavio.
I'm going gas. Why would Christian pay lawyers to negotiate an early exit for a gardening leave to not go on the grid when it's over? If you don't plan on returning, then why would you give a fuck about the gardening leave, Guenther?
Because you get a bucket full of money in once, and then you can do what you want. That is the reason why. Because if you're on gardening leave, you cannot do anything, and if you can get the money in your pocket, it's always better than money owned.
But I'm saying it seems like he negotiated for a shorter gardening leave, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
maybe
that
could
is
have
normal
gotten more
negotiation.
money. He could have gotten more money and said, "I will return to
more
F1
money.
for."
He could have.
I said, "I'll be gone for 5 years. And give me $200 million."
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, I don't know the exact what he got. I mean, we need to be careful here what he got and what not. You know, what the press says and what the people say. You know, it's always is hearsay. But I think
but
in
aren't
the
these
end,
non-compete clauses sort of like, if you get more if you're out longer, less if you're out shorter, these sorts of things?
yeah, but
It seems like the gardening leave is pretty short.
Yeah, it's pretty short, but maybe Red Bull wasn't worried that he goes anywhere, and maybe they negotiated and said, we actually give you less money, but you let you out. Maybe it came from Red Bull's side and said, hey, if you want this, and it's a negotiation. So not having the details, what we are doing is speculating about other people's money, and it's always difficult to do. It's always difficult to do because we don't know how much money it was and how much time. But anyway, it's in the end, what does Red Bull have from it if they don't care if he goes and works somewhere else and they keep him there and have to pay more money? So maybe they said, hey, you can go and we give you more money, and otherwise, you need to stay. So I don't know what they said. I have no idea.
I'm going gas. I think that he and Flavio Briatore are a match made in heaven or hell. I'm not even sure which one it is, but the two of them, I think, vibe wise, I think it seems like a place where he could go. Who knows would happen down the line with that team, where it's going to go, who's going to own that team, whatever. Maybe if Christian's in there, it gives him an easier chance of potentially being an owner down the road or whatever it is. I think he'll be at the Alpine pit wall come the end of summer break of 2026.